Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my students. How are you? I hope all of you always in happy, good and healthy condition. Today we will learn about plane shape and patterns. Hari ini anak-anak Miss akan belajar mengenai bangun datar dan polanya. In this material, you will study about the patterns with the different shape, the pattern with the different size, and the pattern with the different color. Anak-anak Miss akan mempelajari pola berdasarkan bentuk, ukuran, dan warna. But before we start our lesson, let's pray together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Raditu billahi rabbah wa bil islami dina wa bi muhammadin nabiyya wa rasulah. Rabbi zidni ilman warzuqni fahman. Amin.
Today we will learn about plane shapes and patterns. Chapter 8, Part 2. Okay, my students. Before we start, let's review our last lesson. This is a circle. Circle, lingkaran. And this is a triangle. Triangle, segitiga. How about this? Yes, this is a square. Square, persegi. And the last one is rectangle. Rectangle, persegi panjang. Okay, my students, let's making patterns. Look at this picture. There are some circle and square. Circle, square, circle, square, circle, blank blank blank, circle and blank blank blank. If the circle is number 1 and the square is number 2, so if we show it a number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2, number 1 and number 2. So what plane shapes that we must write in this blank? Number 2. Look at number 2. Number 2 is a square. Good. So we must put square here. And how about in this blank? Yes, good job. This is also number 2. And number 2 is square. Good job. And there is a change in shape. Di sini terdapat perubahan berdasarkan bentuk. Anak Miss perhatikan ya sayang. Okay. The next patterns. There is circle, triangle, square, circle, triangle, square, blank blank blank, blank blank blank, and square. If we call the circle as number 1 and the triangle as number 2 and the square as number 3. So if we make into the number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Look at this. This is number 1. So what kind of shapes that we must put on this blank? Bentuk apa yang harus kita letakkan di nomor 1? Perhatikan, nomor 1 adalah milik lingkaran. So we must put circle here. And how about number 2? Nomor 2, anak Miss look at this. Number 2 is a triangles. So we must to put triangle on this blank. And there is a change in shape. Terdapat perubahan atau bentuk polanya adalah berdasarkan bentuk. Okay, my students? Continue. Now, look at this pattern. There is a rectangle, triangle, circle, rectangle, blank blank blank, circle, blank blank blank, triangle, and circle. What patterns that we must to put on this blank? Bentuk apa ya nak yang harus kita letakkan di tempat yang kosong ini? If we make a rectangle as number 1 and the triangle as number 2 and the circle as the number 3, so we will make number 1, number 2, 3, and etc. Look at this. This is number 2. So we put the number 2 is, yes, the triangle. And the number 1 is, good job, rectangle. There is a change in shape. Juga terdapat perubahan dalam berdasarkan bentuk. Okay, next question. There is a big square, small square, big square, small square, blank blank blank, blank blank blank, and big squares. Now, the big square is number 1 and the small square is number 2. So, we will get number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2, and number 1. What patterns that we put on this blank? Yes, good job. A big square and a small square. There is a change in size. Terdapat perubahan berdasarkan ukuran. And there is a pink circle, orange circle, pink, orange, blank blank blank, and blank blank blank. Okay, if the pink circle is number 1 and the orange circle is number 2, so this is number 1, number 2, number 1, and number 2. Okay, my student. So, what patterns that we must to put on number 1? Number 1, look at this. Number 1 is a pink circle. And number 2 is, yes, that's right, orange circle. So, there is a change in color. Terdapat perubahan dalam warna atau berdasarkan warna. Okay, look at this. This is a rectangle, circle, triangle, square, rectangle, blank blank blank, triangle, blank blank blank, blank blank blank, and circle. If the rectangle is number 1 and the circle is number 2, the triangle is number 3, and the square is number 4. So, we will make number 1 for rectangle, number 2, number 3 for triangle, number 4, number 1, number 2. So, what patterns that we must put on these blanks? Number 2. Number 2 is a circle. So, we must put circle on this blank. And number 4 is a square. We must put the square here. And number 1, how about number 1? Yes, that's right, my student. Number 1 is a rectangle. Complete the correct pattern. Do you know? Okay, let's complete it together. A triangle is number 1, a circle is number 2, and a square is number 3. So we will make 1, 2, 3, and 1. What patterns that we must put on this number 1? Look, number 1 is a triangle. Good, triangle. And this is also number 1, so it's also a triangle. Okay, the last question, complete the correct pattern. There is a clock, window, a door, blank blank blank, window, blank blank blank, and a clock. If a clock is number 1 and the window is number 2 and the door is number 3, so we will make number 1, number 2, 3, and number 1. Look at this. This is number 1. Number 1 is, good job my student. Number 1 is a clock. Nomor 1 itu adalah jam ya sayang. Bagaimana dengan nomor 3? Lihat, setelah jendela itu adalah door, pintu. So number 3 is a door. Okay, my students?
Alhamdulillah, all of you have finished to watch this video, and I hope you could understand and do your assignment on Al-Qaeda sheet. Before we close our lesson, let's pray together. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.